I think that the turning point for superheroes and the superhero boom was, and this is kind of ironic because we're talking about mythology and kind of the bombasticism, it was the groundedness of the Dark Knight trilogy that I'm sure we'll get into more that really brought this idea that superheroes are the ways in which you can tell a mythological, grandiose tale in a grounded world, right? You can tell those archetypical stories in a way that appeals to the modern man. And I think that especially The Dark Knight, like that middle of the trilogy, that was the post 9/11 myth. That was the idea of how do we live in the world post 9/11 with government surveillance and with terrorism and these really mature subjects, but telling it through the lens of the archetypical Robin Hood character of the modern era, which was Batman. So that's, I think, where this kind of appeal began hitting people. I know it's where it really started getting deep for me. And by then, gosh, I don't remember what year it came out. It must have been like 2010, 2011. By then, I was deep in my teenage years. I was getting closer to adulthood. So,
yeah, I was going to say one more thing before I move on. I agree with you on that because it's particularly 2008 in particular, at least for me, is kind of like the flashpoint of the dawn of the modern superhero in cinema, and kind of like the first real interpretations and real struggles and real stonewall obstacles that need to be overcome by these heroes that are being plucked from the comics and putting into a live action setting. Dark Knight came out in 2008, but what other movie came out in 2008 that was also a superhero movie? Iron Man. And when Iron Man came out, it was the inception of, oh, wait a minute, we can take an entirely obscure character, even though he has relatable struggles and stuff, we can take this reality of a crazy character that couldn't exist in the modern sense. Technology is not even close to being where this is at. We don't even know if it would work, but putting it in a movie sense and making it work. That, for me, like, between The Dark Knight and Iron Man kind of like started that modern road to, okay, this is how we're going to do superhero movies. Because Jon Favreau is, at least in my opinion, as far as the beginning of the Iron Man movies and the beginning of the Marvel movies, are masterpieces as far as like taking a Hollywood 20th Century Fox giant bigwig surface with all of these people that are fighting and clamoring to be able to get a budget out and trying to put money anywhere that they can to be able to get a return profit. Past all of that, making good storytelling in movies.